Mission, I'm trying to get it right. Transition, changing the way that I see life. Transition mind. I'm on a mission, trying to get it right. I'm transitioning my life. Making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. I'm on a mission, I'm trying to get it right. Changing the way that I see life. Transition in my life. On a mission, on a mission, on a mission. Welcome. This is DJ Genesis, aka Alchemizing Energy, and man, we have a show for you today. Who knew that you could post something on Facebook that has nothing to do with the subject and get arrested? Have the police come to your house and arrest you? That is what happened to a guy, and it's crazy. And he has been in jail since December. Since September 9th. And they plan on holding him until December based on a meme that he posted on Facebook about using a quote from President Trump, but it was about a school shooting. So then they accused him. People began to call into the police department and say that they were afraid of this guy because they thought that he was going to shoot up a school. See how people get a bunch of people, like they call in and use that, and then next thing you know, you get arrested. So this thing that we call freedom of speech is under attack, guys. He has a $2 million bond, guys. $2 million. And he's being held until December 6th. And he might even be held longer. So be very careful about the things you post on the Facebook and things like this, because this could be you.
Quoting President Trump cost a man his freedom. Part of a sheriff's new explanation was just contradicted by police. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 6. I'm Bob Mueller. Larry Bushart has been in jail since September 21st. His bond is $2 million. The Perry County Sheriff's Office claimed he threatened mass violence at a school. News 2's Kel Smith reports Bushart seemed confused when police told him.
This is 38 days ago.
Hello.
Hey, can we speak with Larry again?
Lexington police are about to arrest Larry Bushart. His supporters say he is a retired law enforcement officer. He's also critical of the Trump administration. Just on the day of his arrest, he posted dozens of memes to Facebook.
Hey, Mr. Larry.
Yes.
So, Perry County has called back again, okay? And they've ended up issuing a warrant for you, okay? So you're going to have to come with us. We'll get you booked in. We'll get all this figured out. And then you'll have to take it up with them in their court, okay?
Okay.
We got to come in with you if you're going to go back in, though.
That's fine. Y'all can come in. We're getting carpet in the morning, so
Okay.
we need all of this stuff.
In body camera video released by police to News 2, Larry and his wife do not ask many questions. They seem to know why he's getting arrested. A few hours earlier, Larry said Lexington police visited him regarding a Facebook post.
Just call me. I'll have my phone on, okay? I love you. Thank y'all.
And he thinks that it's just, freedom of speech, And I try to tell him, this is...
Yeah, but like he was saying earlier, we kind of have nothing to do with it.
I understand. Look, it's just y'all's job. I mean, y'all have to do what...
Yeah. But hopefully it works out for y'all.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
A court affidavit ties Larry's arrest back to Perry County Sheriff Nick Weems. In a community Facebook group, someone posted about a vigil for conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. Larry commented, "The sheriff saw it and messaged an investigator." We do not have access to the Facebook group to see Larry's comment for ourselves, but based on the quotes in the affidavit, Larry appears to have shared this meme from the gun safety group Everytown. It quotes President Trump saying, "We have to get over it," one day after the Perry High School mass shooting. According to the court affidavit, Larry said, "This seems relevant today."
We're going to need multiple ambulances. Multiple victims found.
Everytown's meme references a shooting at Perry High School in Iowa.
See, now this is the problem I have with this, okay? Now, what his comment was, it did not have anything to do with the school. He just basically was using it in context to Charlie Kirk's shooting. But because he used it that was talking about this high school, so he used a meme that Trump said we're just going to have to get over it. He was not talking about a particular high school or anything like that. He just showed Trump saying we just going to have to get over it. It was a meme that was up. He posted that meme, and I guess he's been saying a whole bunch of other stuff on his Facebook, and they use this to arrest the guy. This is how crazy that it could be out here, guys. So I just wanted to share this with my audience. I'm not going to do really a long live on this today. I'm going to go into some other stuff too about the Hurricane Mellissa and the whole thing that's going on. There's a whole blow up going on with the FBAs and the whole hurricane that happened in Jamaica. Jamaicans are going crazy. But I thought that this was a very interesting look into how freedom of speech. I am talking. I'm talking. Can you guys hear me? Check one, check two. I was trying to get into how freedom of speech is now being affected based on this whole situation because of the fact that a person could have an opinion about something and post a meme, and next thing you know, you're getting you're getting arrested. So I just wanted to show this just for the audience to just be careful about the things that you post on Facebook using Trump, because if people get sensitive, they get to calling the police. And I don't even know under what law. I'm not sure if it's a terroristic threat or threatening a school. They use, because he used that and it had something to do with the school. Now he gets arrested and he's under a $2 million bond, guys, just because he posted a meme and it had something to do with the school, something that Trump said about that we're going to have to get over it. Even though it had nothing to do with the school, it had more to do with Charlie Kirk. It turned into that people began to call into the police department and be afraid, saying that he is going to do something against the school. Let's go.
In 2024, a 17-year-old boy killed 2 people and wounded 6 others before killing himself. President Donald Trump spoke about the shooting at a campaign event.
It's just horrible to see that happening. That's just horrible. So surprising to see it here. But we'll have to get over it. We have to move forward.
The affidavit accuses Larry of threatening mass violence at school. The arresting officer told him just as the body camera video ended.
And just to clarify, this is what they charged him with.
Okay.
Threatening mass violence at a school.
At a school?
It's referring to a school. I have no idea.
I know.
This is what they've called us for, and I ain't got a clue.
I played on Facebook. I threatened no one. I know you don't give it.
I ain't got a clue. I just had to do what I had to do.
I've been in Facebook.
See, I don't think that he understood how long he would serve in jail, so he was being very nonchalant about this. He probably thought he would get right out, but no, he's been in there since December 21st, 2025. I mean, September. He's been in there for like almost a whole month, and they're going to keep him until December. That's how serious this is, because they can't afford to pay a $2 million bond, So he's just going to be in there until his court date, and that's crazy, just from a misunderstanding. And that's how quick that people can escalate stuff because of people who get outraged. You have people that are very, very sensitive about stuff, and you got to be very careful about what you post and how people will come against that, with these groups and stuff. So let's go.
I'm not saying you did or didn't do anything.
No, I didn't do, but I didn't make a commitment.
And another thing I think that is weird about this is that why did they just tell him what he was being arrested for when he got to jail? Why didn't they tell him at the door? I mean, you issue but I guess he knew he was saying wild stuff on Facebook, so he kind of expected them to be coming. I don't know. But, you know, I would have protested. Well, what is this? What am I being arrested for? Okay, exactly. Because why are you waiting until you walking him into jail to tell him what his charges are? Because I'm sure his wife, he could have been like, hey, call the lawyer, you know, immediately.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you did or did not commit a crime.
I may have been but I'm.
That's not illegal.
That was Nikel Smith reporting. The Perry County Sheriff sent a statement to News 2. It reads in part, quote, Mr. Bushart was not brought to our attention simply because of his speech, but for the public repercussions of that speech. We coordinated with other departments to approach Mr. Bushart and provide options to de-escalate the situation before an arrest was made. Mr. Bushart declined to clarify his public messages and calm the situation that was causing multiple reasonable citizens to be in fear of their children's safety at school, end quote. You can read the full statement at WKRN.com. Now, we asked the sheriff which agency he worked with to ask Bushart to de-escalate or clarify his post because that was not mentioned in the affidavit or body camera video. The sheriff said Lexington Police. We asked Lexington's police chief if his agency was involved with that. He said no. Bushart is due back in court in December. In the meantime, he remains in jail on a $2 million bond. A Facebook comment, quote,
that is crazy. I don't know if you guys are seeing how that's crazy because we're supposed to have freedom of speech, but I guess on social media, you get enough people call in tripping about it, there's no freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? And this is the continuation of what's going on. And I think it's just, I don't think that this is fair. That's why I'm reporting on it. I don't think it's right that this man is in prison, in jail for this long over posting something on Facebook. But that is just off of the think of people thinking that he might do something, even though he does not work at a school. He was a former sheriff himself. You know, that's probably why they even gave him extra cuffs. You know, they gave him like 2 cuffs. They didn't just try to pin his arms back and make him feel uncomfortable, you know? But, you know, let's go.
And trying to gaslight us. You're the...
He's been here for 35 days.
35 days over a meme. Larry Bushart has been behind bars for more than a month. And right now, he's not scheduled for another court appearance for more than 5 weeks. The question is, should this case ever have gone this far?
Yeah, there's been some very, very bad phone calls that my employees has had to endure. Our dispatch has had to endure.
For Perry County Sheriff Nick Weems and his office, the last few weeks have been rough.
Oh, boo-hoo, you received some phone calls and it's upsetting to you. I like how he's playing the victim, gaslighting himself, and trying to gaslight us. You're the tyrant here, arresting somebody for free speech. Also, pay attention to what's on his desk and what's behind his desk. That gives you a lot of insight to him as a person. Seems like he cares more about law enforcement itself and the thin blue line in police departments and sheriff's departments than people's individual rights. This guy should be nowhere near a badge and a gun. If you don't believe me, keep watching. And I don't care what your political ideology is, everyone should care about free speech. I'll defend the speech of anyone, those who disagree with me and those who agree with me.
As word has spread about their arrest of 61-year-old Larry Bushart for a Facebook post, a local judge set Bushart's bond at $2 million.
He's been here for 35 days.
35 days over a meme.
Well, it was a series of posts, but yes, the one post that he made was the one with Donald Trump that got everybody's attention.
So here's the meme in question. More will be explained about it in a bit. There are a lot of exceptions to free speech. The most relevant one here is what is called a true threat. The Supreme Court has said that true threats are not protected by the First Amendment because there's a need to protect people from fear of violence and to prevent the disruption that the fear causes and to protect from the possibility that the threats will actually happen.
When did this law come into play? Is this a new thing that they have come up with? It's called a new threat or a true threat. How long has this been existing? That, you know, if people think that you're threatening, or you say something, there's no threat actually said. He just says we have to get over it using the Trump meme. How does a meme now make it a threat? Is it because how people feel if they feel threatened? What determines a true threat? And this is this is actually a lawyer that is doing this page. I want to give him a shout. Lawyer explains stuff. That's the page. So shouts out to his channel for this. Is fair use. But yeah, thank you.
A true threat is essentially a statement that frightens someone into believing that they will be seriously harmed. Speech will not be protected if the person consciously disregarded a substantial risk that their communications would be viewed as threatening violence. However, political hyperbole does not count as a true threat. Take the case of Watts versus U.S., where a man said, quote, "I have already received my draft classification. I am not going. If they ever make me carry a rifle, the first man I want to get in my sights is LBJ." The Supreme Court ruled that this was political hyperbole and was not a true threat, and thus was protected speech. The court will look to factors like the context of the speech, the conditional nature of the supposed threat, and the reaction of the recipients or listeners. Are the people laughing? Are they taking it seriously? Etc. To me, the Watts case seems more like a true threat than the Facebook meme here. And the speech in the Watts case is considered protected. So keep that in mind as you continue to watch. There are other speech exceptions like fighting words and incitement to violence that I won't get into, because the true threats doctrine is the one that seems the most salient to me.
So here's the thing, is that, so this guy posted, he used the Trump thing. People that are down with Trump, you know what I'm saying, if they don't like what you say, you get on these platforms, you think that you're executing free speech. Next thing you know, you got the police knocking at your door. And that, it seems to be every day more and more rights are being taken away. People do not want to be able to speak freely in this country. They are doing everything that they can to take away free speech. John Stevenson says Perry Township, Ohio police are corrupt. Yeah, I know that. I know about Ohio police. I lived in Ohio my high school years. Ohio is not the place to be playing around in. So here's the copyright disclaimer. But shouts out to legal stuff for this video, because he definitely gives a great explanation about the legal aspect of this. So
and was considered threatening.
Okay. Thank you.
Local police took Bussard into custody at his home in Lexington, Tennessee on September 21st based on a warrant issued out of Perry County.
What? Who on earth would issue a warrant for this?
Yeah. The one-time cop is one of those rare liberals in rural Middle Tennessee and a keyboard warrior known for posting progressive memes like these.
This is what they charged him with. Okay. Threatening mass violence at a school.
At a school?
It's referring to a school. I have no idea. This is what they've called us for, and I ain't got a clue.
I played on Facebook. I threatened.
You know what's so funny is I think that because he's a cop or a former cop, that he just thought that he would walk in there and walk right out. That's why he didn't ask any questions. He knew that he's on Facebook saying stuff. He says, okay, I'm not fixing to do this. I have freedom of speech. They gave a warrant. He probably thought that he'd be able to get in there and get out of there within a day. That's why he didn't probably call his lawyer. But I don't see, you see how he didn't give any resistance. So there's a certain level of, I believe, of just not even taking it serious enough. You know, he just thinking, you know, hey, I'm a police. They're not going to, you know what I'm saying? They probably know he's a police police officer as well. And that's not saving him in this situation. He is going to, he doesn't realize that after this moment, he will be spending almost 3 months in jail.
I know you don't give a
This is the meme that landed Bussard in jail. He posted it as part of a discussion about Charlie Kirk's murder. The meme quotes Donald Trump saying, "We have to get over it." It was exactly what the president said the day after a deadly school shooting in Perry, Iowa.
That's the meme that he posted, correct? That looks like it, except this part was blurred out, the face.
Where is the threat in there, Sheriff?
Right here?
Sheriff Weems says some in his community took the reference in the Trump meme to Perry High School to be a threat to shoot up Perry County High School, which had recently had to deal with a threat from a student.
Whenever you come to a Perry County page, okay, that is set up to let people know what's going on in Perry County, and you post this talking about Perry High School shooting.
It doesn't say Perry County High School.
It says Perry High School mass shooting one day after, okay? That led people to believe in our county that he's talking about Perry County High School because it doesn't say Iowa either.
But you also...
What the hell? So so people could just make a speculation and you can get arrested. They could say, well, even though it was about this and this happened beforehand, and they could just get mad and just call the police on you, and next thing you know, you get arrested because it had the name of the same high school. I'm not sure if he gave context that he was talking about the Charlie Kirk situation or what, but that's crazy.
I knew this was an existing meme that was already out there on the internet.
Correct.
Do I really need to even explain how ridiculous this is? And just because you have a warrant or something like that doesn't make your actions justified. Any cop involved in this man's arrest should be ashamed of themselves. Just following orders is not an excuse. This absolutely makes my blood boil. And this will chill speech in Tennessee, if not elsewhere too. Should I even be posting this video? Is the government going to consider my words here a true threat and arrest me? This has far-reaching implications beyond just this individual man. This will chill speech beyond just him. Especially because it seems to me that the government and the cops here are totally disregarding the law. They don't care what the Supreme Court has said about free speech. They're still going to arrest you.
And so it's clear he's not talking about Perry County High School.
We knew. The public did not know.
No one even replied to that one meme, the meme that's in question here.
No one said this is a threat against our school.
No one even mentioned it.
Chris Ergel from South Carolina heard about Bussard's arrest and started a Justice for Larry Bussard page on Facebook.
A reasonable person cannot possibly interpret that as a threat. So I'm not sure what he's reacting to. I think it might be his own feelings.
So why not just inform the public that this was not about Perry County High School?
Because here's the thing. Whenever you're dealing with something like this and you've got multiple people that is now scared to send their kids to school, we tried to take a different approach and go and speak to this guy and say, hey, look, this is what you're doing.
So they went to speak to him earlier and told him, hey, listen, this is what you're doing. And I guess because he didn't take it down or he didn't give them to do the right thing according to what they thought, that because so-called people called the police department. And I'm not even sure if there's a record of the police people really calling the police department. If it was one people, was it two people, was it 20 people? Whatever it is that even if it was just somebody brought attention to it and he said, hey, you know, you shouldn't post that or whatever. And maybe I'm not sure what he did, but for them to for this to be the course of action and the fact that he's been in jail for a $2 million bond is insane to me. You know, and I don't care white or black. This is about freedom of speech. You should be able to post things, and just because a person is scared, that person could be mentally ill. There could be any reason why anybody would do this. That's crazy. Freedom of speech, you know.
As Bussard's wife explained to police, he saw nothing wrong with what he had done.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you did or did not commit a crime.
I may have been, but
that's not illegal.
Well, gee, maybe you should investigate for yourself a little what's going on so you're not just blindly following orders and putting somebody in chains and then putting them in a cage. Don't just act as a sheep with a tyrant as your shepherd.
All of this could have been avoided, the sheriff says, if Bussard had just deleted the meme that people in Perry County had found so objectionable.
Ah, yes, blame the victim. It's all this guy's fault. Clearly, no one else is to blame for this.
Whenever we sent Lexington Police Department out to speak to him and he refused to do that, I mean, what kind of person does that? What kind of person just says he don't care? You know, I'm not taking it down.
Maybe a person who doesn't think he's done anything wrong.
What kind of person
Hey, but that's not against the law. To not think that you've done anything wrong, to post a meme, if you're not a threat and you're saying, listen, this is my freedom of speech. I haven't done anything wrong. But because you make a moral decision, and now this guy stays in jail for 3 months. And this could happen to anybody, y'all. You could be on your page talking about something. Somebody can alert the police. Next thing you know, this sheriff is making a decision. The leadership in the law enforcement gets to make a crash decision on your freedom. So I just wanted to post this and show how corrupt this could be. law enforcement needs to have an overhaul in this country because this is crazy.
Ask somebody for protected speech. A tyrant, that's who. So don't you dare lecture us on what kind of person does this. This guy's priorities and mindset are all messed up. This guy should not be in law enforcement. He doesn't care about individual rights or individual liberty or the Constitution. What a joke.
Well, in TCA's eyes and our state legislatures that's put this law forth that come out July 1st, 2024, says otherwise.
Really? Is that what the law here is actually saying, or what the state legislature has said? I'm going to post what I think is the law that he's talking about here, so take a second to pause and read it and see if you agree that even under this law's definition of things, that this guy somehow engaged in illegal conduct. Maybe there's a different law that he's citing here? I don't know. But even if the Tennessee law somehow criminalized this guy's conduct, that doesn't make it legal or legitimate because the Supreme Court has said otherwise. So I really don't care what the law says in Tennessee or what the legislature thinks or what the district attorney thinks or what the cops think.
As for Weems' statement that Bussard would not be in jail today if he had just deleted the post, Chris Ergel says that shows it was never really about any threat against Perry County High School.
Pretty much tells me he doesn't consider it a threat. If you think it's a threat, why would removing it make any difference?
Yeah, exactly. No one in their right mind actually thinks this is a threat.
In your heart, do you think Larry Bouchard was threatening to shoot up Perry County High School?
In my heart, I think Larry Bouchard knew what he was doing once we made contact with him, or once law enforcement made contact with him. And I believe that he knew what he was doing. And in my heart, he violated the law set forth by our legislatures.
Right. So it wasn't even about whether they thought that he was going to be threatened to. They used the threat to a school as a reason to arrest him. But the whole thing was that they used this legislation, which sounds cloudy to me, in order to try to bully him into taking it down. And when he wouldn't take it down because he wanted to exercise his freedom of speech, then they used that law to then go against him and to then arrest him. And this is why I find that this is not cool. People should be able to express their freedom of speech because we are not in a communist country. We are not. I mean, they're trying to come up with more laws that's trying to curb people's freedom of speech. People do not want people to be able to speak freely.
I'm really questioning whether the sheriff has actually read the law in Tennessee or whether he's actually read Supreme Court precedent on free speech. It seems doubtful that he has, and I don't think that he cares. Yet he's enforcing this stuff, or at the very least, he's overseeing people who are enforcing this. Guys, be careful. If you make a meme about this sheriff, maybe you'll get arrested. Or maybe I'll get arrested now because I made a meme about this sheriff, and I'm inciting other people to make memes about this sheriff. And it's all a true threat.
Now, Mr. Bussard's attorney has filed a motion to reduce his bond, but get this, that motion is not scheduled to be heard until December 4th, which is only adding to the outrage in this situation.
Long time from now. Now, the sheriff cites a state law that was controversial when it passed, and advocates feared that innocent people would kind of be caught up in this. Was there anybody above the sheriff that questioned this, signed off on it?
Yeah, Sheriff Weems tells me that his office did talk to DA Hans Schwindeman's office, and they signed off on the arrest, as did a judicial commissioner. The DA, by the way, did not return my phone call and speak to me like the sheriff was willing to do.
Well, looks like all the tyrants work together on this one, from the DA's office to the cops. What a disgusting joke. This guy shouldn't be in jail in the first place, and yet he's staying there for a long time. I'm at a loss for words. And I'm not discounting the severity that's underlying things here about actual potential threats and actions regarding harm at schools. But this has nothing to do with that. This is clearly a meme, and liberty and free speech are so important. And free speech is one of the most fundamental and important rights that we have. Well, I guess according to the sheriff, we don't actually have that right. But I think people overlook why free speech is so important. I'll give you a few quotes from the Supreme Court that I think are relevant to the importance of free speech. But keep in mind, these quotes are coming from a court that I think has carved out so many exceptions to the First Amendment and infringed on our free speech in unreasonable and illegitimate ways. But in this case, at least, it seems like the man's speech is clearly protected by Supreme Court precedent. Anyways, here are those quotes. One man's vulgarity is another's lyric. Indeed, we think it is largely because governmental officials cannot make principled distinctions in this area that the Constitution leaves matters of taste and style so largely to the individual. If there is a bedrock principle underlying the First Amendment, it is that the government may not prohibit the expression of an idea simply because society finds the idea itself offensive or disagreeable. The right to think is the beginning of freedom, and speech must be protected from the government because speech is the beginning of thought. Any speech worth uttering should offend, provoke, and get people to think. Otherwise, you'll just be talking about the weather all day. And speech that criticizes the government should not be weaponized by the government to arrest the speaker. That is the domain of tyranny. And here are some troubling statistics on the viewpoint of the public regarding the First Amendment and free speech. I think these numbers are from a study maybe like a year ago or so. 1 in 3 Americans say the First Amendment goes too far. Only 1 in 4 agree the right to free speech is very or completely secure.
Why are Americans trying to stop their own freedom of speech? It's almost like we want to get arrested. We want to do this. You know, that's crazy. So we're out. So I wanted to so that's one situation that's going on. And then the next situation is so we're getting back into the FBA conversation once again. And it's like this whole thing going on with Hurricane Mellissa, you know. I'm not sure what to say about that freedom of speech issue, but like I said, now we're going into the whole thing. So some people in Jamaica during the storm, you know, had some issues. Some people were getting scammed, but a lot of things were going on. So let's go into this, and then we'll go into the things that Jamaican people are kind of saying, kind of coming against Black Americans that are in Jamaica during the Mellissa situation. So let's go.
We are finally leaving Jamaica. We've been here for 10 days unexpectedly for Hurricane Mellissa. Thank God we are on our way out of here.
On October 28th, 2025, Jamaica suffered the harshest hurricane they ever saw. Hurricane Mellissa hit Jamaica with a Category 5. And people was in panic. People was in frenzy. It's been a whole lot of things going on social media. Now, this video that I'm making now hits home to me because I have a sister that's been stuck down there ever since, and she's still not home, right? She's still trying to get home, right? But I'm doing this video because you have a lot of Jamaicans now coming online saying very disparaging and disrespectful things about foundational Black Americans, right? And I feel like it's crazy because I have insight on what's been going on down there because my sister has been sending me video, right? So you had a video of these women. They were complaining about the conditions and the food that was been given to them since the hurricane. They was online saying this.
So why couldn't we leave when y'all feeding us pastries for breakfast and we still had to pay full price to stay here? Like, come on.
May I ask where you're going now?
We're going to get something to eat.
Everything closed across the street. Everything closed. Gas station, shopping mall, everything closed.
So what are y'all doing for gas? You all knew this storm was coming, right? So you're going to give us bag lunches, bag breakfast, some pastries? That's so disrespectful.
Now, this woman's social media account is Ebony Taste 1. Right? And she posted, "I'm ready to go home. Surviving Hurricane Mellissa was not in my itinerary. Y'all, please keep us in your prayers," right? So now with that being said, a lot of Jamaicans start going online and getting at Black Americans. Now I know that there's an online social media beef between FBAs and a lot of people in the diaspora. So I think that they saw this as an opportunity to now just jump all over Black Americans and make a bunch of disparaging comments, right?
And so this is the thing that I was even afraid of happening with the whole FBA movement, right? Because people been going in on the Caribbean. Y'all aren't Black, y'all are not FBAs. And so now, you know, the people that are not a part of the FBA movement, that just go that are they just go to Jamaica just to vacation. They might not be aware of what's going on with this whole kind of the delineation movement, with the FBA situation. So they're just complaining about the situation. They're getting overcharged and all types of different stuff. We're going to find out later on why that lady was kind of going in. It's because there were a lot of scamming going on. And so they're like, okay, no, they were getting like kind of held up at the hotel. No, you can't leave, type of stuff like that. And so the people that from Jamaica, because they're, on TikTok, Tarika, she's really heavily on TikTok, and he's bringing that whole FBA conversation to TikTok. So people on TikTok use this as a reason to like go against the whole FBA movement. Oh, okay, now let's see how these Black Americans are acting during a hurricane. They should have known it was hurricane season. They went down there, blah, 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 blah. And now like they're stuck and we know how to come together. I mean, they're just going to be saying a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And I would say, okay, that the way that this response is just crazy to me. You see a snippet of a video of a Black woman, right? And you don't know anything further than that. You just think it's because the way her vernacular is that she's a Black American FBA woman, right? We'll watch when we found out more information later. Here we go.
Start talking like this.
Americans, whoa there. Please watch your mouth when you're talking about the Jamaicans. Okay, I'm not Jamaican, but I'm a West Indian woman. And what y'all not gonna do is try to fearmonger and spread weird narratives about the country. You don't know anything. And it's 2025 and your ignorance is showing. One thing about the Caribbean, disaster preparedness is a way of life. We've been doing it since we were kids. 2, most houses are reinforced by steel and are built with concrete. It's not the Weetabix houses you guys have. 3, when in times of disaster, people know how to come together and help each other. They're not fighting each other in Walmart for toilet paper and rations. We have more autopsy than that. We come together and we help each other. 4, your fear-mongering, tragedy porn, kink fetish, whatever it is y'all have where you just like are so gleeful when bad things happen to people and you use that as an opportunity to be performatively good, keep that somewhere else. Jamaicans will deal and cope with tragedy however they see fit. If you didn't want your thoughts and prayers to elevate their spirits, keep them. If you want to be mad at people making jokes, cool, keep it to yourself. Because if we see you say anything about Jamaicans, I'm telling you, the rest of the Caribbean will gather and get you together. So if you want a nice time, watch your mouth. The things that you guys are saying and posting and commenting are making it so evident that you are highly ignorant and you are not beating the stereotype. If you don't know about another culture, if you don't know about another country, is silence not an option? Ta gueule, pe bouche zola. Tu vas parler trop. Shut it. Keep your thoughts and prayers to thoughts and prayers. Okay? A lot of you are not going to beat the allegations that you are performative as hell. You're more concerned about looking like a good person than actually being a good person. These are human beings going through something very terrifying. Shut up.
So you had a whole bunch of people clout chasing off of this, right? And you see this woman, she's making these comments and she's basically excluding W folks, right? Because they love them W folks. They love them, the Pink Panther, right? So they're excluding the Pink Panther out of it because they want to make sure that they can have access to him when he comes down there and all those other groups. And they channel in on Black people, right? And saying, well, don't come back. Now, mind you, they have hurricane season down there. If you have hurricane season, then don't sell tickets to resorts and make money when you know that something like this can happen, right? So it gets real goofy. But Amanda Seals herself, right? She gets in this, and she's the ultimate clout chaser, right? She comes on here and she says some disparaging things about Black Americans. Now, mind you, right? You saying this from the coziness of your living room. You're not down there going through what the people are going through down there, mentally, psychologically being stuck down there all of those days, right? You're not going through what they're going through. You're home running your damn mouth, right? You ain't sick.
And you know what? I agree with him. Yes, people will begin to shape the narrative. They use this as a moment to go to talk mess about Black Americans and then be our own people. I'm not sure if Amanda Seals is a Jamaican or she's Caribbean, but it's crazy that she seems to always want to just jump in and say wild stuff and probably don't even know what the whole story is or what's behind it. all you see is a snippet, and that snippet gets explained in a few minutes by, and I want to give a shout out to this channel as well.
Sitting here in the chair like I am, with your family members being stuck down there, and you don't know whether they're coming or going, you just running your mouth, right? She talking like this.
No, I didn't just see videos of folks in Jamaica, Americans, Black Americans in Jamaica, post Hurricane Mellissa, complaining about the food they were provided by the hotel post Hurricane Mellissa, one of the most severe hurricanes to hit the region ever.
Ah, hold on.
No, you know what? I couldn't have seen that because that.
The way she said Jamaica made me look it up. But they're in Jamaica. She is Grenadian. Okay. They're over in Jamaica and they're saying something about Jamaica. So yeah, she's Grenadian. And so then now she feels the time to jump on Black Americans. Okay, so one thing I will say is that there is certain things right about the FBA movement is that when the Caribbean people that are prejudiced against Black Americans, they do, when they have their moment, they do be saying wild stuff about us. You know what I'm saying? They do. There are certain ones that will jump on the bandwagon when it's time. So we're seeing now people are having their chance and we're getting to see their true colors, guys. Now, they don't know the whole story about why the lady was complaining, but they just want to jump in. They don't know who the lady was. They just assume that she's a Black American, right? Watch what we find out later. Let's go.
It would be utterly insane, disgraceful, and ungrateful. As somebody who has actually been in the Caribbean at a hotel during a hurricane, I was in Hurricane Beryl while at Mount Cinnamon Hotel in Grenada last year. I need to remind some of you that these people are literally with your instead of with their families during severe weather event that could affect and impact their lives and their livelihood. And you're talking about what? They're literally there putting together meals with whatever they have.
And they're getting paid to do so. Like, what are we talking about? We're acting like they're working for free. That's what their job is. They're there. If a hurricane or tornado happens in America at a hotel, the hotel workers don't go home. The people that are at the hotel get serviced by the hotel workers. What are you talking about? Why is that like a special thing? They're catering to you. Well, that would happen at any American hotel if a natural disaster happened. So I don't know why she's trying to make that. They could have been with their families during the hurricane. Her whole accent is coming out. Jamaica, Grenada, all that stuff. Come on now.
To get to you. I remember that folks at Mount Cinnamon was coming through while the wind was moving and crazy and everything, making sure that we had something to eat. Oh, you're damn rude. I had heard that this was happening, and I just assumed it was white folks. I just was like, yeah, that tracks. And this is why we continue to have dissension amongst the diaspora. Because so often, folks go other places and act a mess. And there's a version of this that is done by African folks. There's a version of this that is done by Caribbean folks. And there is a version of this that is done by American folks. And everybody needs to stop showing up in other places.
Now I understand and see why Amanda Seales was kicked out the whip. And she's on there complaining all the time that a lot of those Democratic women don't want her around, right? Because she's a clout chaser. Right now, there was a Jamaican woman that saw this. And she started calling out the Jamaicans for their hypocrisy. She see the play. And she's a Jamaican. And she says she's sick and tired of it. Right? She got online and really started getting at Jamaicans by saying this.
Jamaicans come to the forefront. Now, I'm going to start by saying my uncle, my brother, and my stepdad is Jamaican. But I really don't like how Jamaicans have been disrespecting Americans for the last few days over something that a lady from Bermuda said. It really is just giving that some Jamaicans just been waiting for a reason to bash Black America, and I'm not liking that.
Did y'all hear that? Key phrase. The lady was not even from America. She's from Bermuda. She's actually a Caribbean woman. But they wanted to jump down Black Americans thing so hard that they use this as a time to like go in on Black Americans, right? Because I guess they've been getting it so hard from like the whole, FBA movement that this is like their moment to shine. And honey, they've shown on the wrong people because this was not even a Black American woman that was complaining about what was going on there. It was a Grenadian. I mean, a Bahamian. So there we go.
As far as I can see, Black Americans have always loved and supported Jamaicans. Jamaicans, y'all get support from Black America the most out of any Caribbean country, and that's a fact. Black Americans support your TV, your music, your food. Black Americans are always in Jamaican restaurants, but I just don't know if it's going to be the same after this hurricane because the way how y'all just jumped on Black Americans' backs is messed up.
Now, this is a woman, a Jamaican woman, calling them out. Now, I want y'all to see something, right? Because the part that a lot of Jamaicans ain't talking about was the scams that was being ran. Now, my sister was down there when the things was really hitting the fan, and everybody was panicking. They was boarding up the places and moving people around, right? Getting them to shelter. My sister said that they was running scams, all kinds of scams on making people stay, trying to charge people to stay at the resort. It was a whole bunch of stuff going on that they're not covering and not talking about. Now, during a natural disaster where there's a state of emergency, how are you trying to capitalize and cash off this stuff, right? When people are trying to save themselves and save their lives, right? If you have this stuff every year, season, then you're supposed to be prepared for it, right? Why you have these people in the resort trying to run scams, huh? Check this out.
Yep.
So then they start price gouging where they made it where the people can't leave. So this is the thing. You have flights that were leaving out, but instead of the flights being a certain amount of money for people to leave, you push the flights up to $3,000 a person. But then want to complain when people are complaining. You have people that's not in their right state of mind, right? They in fear, they're away from their families. They just went through a catastrophic, life-changing experience, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff. Then you have the Jamaicans in the country whose country has just been ravaged. So everybody's turned up times 10. This ain't the time when you start attacking each other. And this ain't the time in Jamaica where you allow your scammers to start scamming people. You're trying to charge people for rooms that they're not even staying in. How? Right? And then you're price gouging where people can't leave. When you already know you sold tickets to people to come down there during the hurricane season. So the onus is on both sides, right? So Tariq Nasheed, he got wind of this. And he spoke about some of the things that they do, and he said this.
There were some people in Jamaica, they were complaining, a couple of people at the resort, and they used that as an opportunity to start attacking foundational Black Americans, calling us all types of names. Now, come to find out, the women who were complaining at the resort, they were sounding like us, but they're really from Bermuda. They were like their fellow Caribbeans, but they were just using our dialect, basically. They were Bermudan. But that don't matter. They were still using that as an opportunity to crap on foundational Black Americans. They were getting into this whole thing, excuse me, where we're all entitled. Oh, the Black Americans they're entitled. Oh, you're not reading the room. And boy, they were making videos in Jamaica and outside. You had a lot of them over here making videos. Well, why don't you just leave the island? Go home.
Now, with all that being said, I got a phone call from my sister, and she sent me videos, and she was saying that there was a lot of good Jamaicans down there, and all that stuff wasn't like a lot of stuff that's going on online. Don't believe it. She said in the resort that they were in, the Jamaicans was very accommodating. She also told me that, this was one of the worst storms they've seen in 30 years. So a lot of Jamaicans that's living today never seen a storm like this. And they were nice. They never got real belligerent with the people. They stayed calm. At some point, she said it was a scamming, but then she came back and she told me that after they complained, they got very accommodating. It was good food, the hospitality was great, and the people were great. And everybody down there wasn't acting the double dog fool. You can't believe everything that people were telling you. So my sister sent this video.
We are leaving to go to shelter because Hurricane Mellissa is on her way. So we have to take our bedding and our pillows and go to the bunker. See you on the flip side.
Do you see people complaining in Tristan? No.
Thanks to the staff at Ocean.
Looks very calm to me, right? That street pop media has made
chicken or fish
clarity.
smells like curry. But I still don't agree with them charging people to stay in them rooms and we're not in them rooms. When you're on them cots, baby. You're on them cots over there. But I appreciate the hot meal.
They were still charging them for their room, even though they were not in the room.
I just want to thank all the staff at Ocean Eaton Bay who've been working tirelessly around the clock to make sure that we eat good. Nobody walk around with no attitude. Everybody being accommodating. Everybody being so sweet, so nice. The Jamaican staff here, they've been here for days. It's been people, I know them by name. That's how long they've been here. Like, they've really been here for days. They've really been sweet. They've really been accommodating, like fresh fruit, fresh juice every day. Like, they never wavered. We never had box lunches. We always ate good. The only thing that bothered me was when the first went down, they were charging different prices for families to stay. Some people don't have that kind of money, you know what I'm saying? That was the only thing that bothered me. A lot of people did say they paid, but a lot of people said that they didn't. So they were accommodating on both ends. I guess it was whoever can afford it paid, whoever couldn't afford it, they didn't really bother you. I didn't hear of anybody like getting put out their room or like locked out their room or nothing like that. They've been real accommodating. The staff is bomb. This is our 6th time at this resort. This is the resort we choose to come to.
Every time?
Every time. Because y'all are so... Look at this man. This man probably been here all for the past 10 days. Working nonstop while his family home. A lot of people I talk to, they got smiles on their face, but when I talk to them, they tell me my house don't have no roof on it. You know what I'm saying? But they here with us. And look how we eat. Y'all only eat this good at home. And I'm about to go ahead and get me a fresh omelet made by the sister. Because this is what they've been doing. You got all kind of toppings, you got all kind of everything you can put on it. They wake up every day with a smile on their face, even though their home has been destroyed. And when they taking care of us, Ocean Eaton Bay is taking care of us. Good morning, sister. All right, y'all. My flight leave out today, inshallah.
Resort Ocean.
What's that bill? $2,180?
That's great.
See that?
It's right there.
That is for 170, and the remaining 5 nights would be for 160.
Okay. Thank you. Out of this hotel.
They still have to pay that same price.
$2,200 to extend your stay in Hurricane Mellissa that they ain't getting.
Now I'll say this, you know, my sister, she hasn't made it back to the shores of America yet. She has to take a bunch of flights and connecting flights before she can actually get back to the States. They are scheduled to leave today, and they have to go into Jamaica, go to one island, then to Miami. From Miami, they have to come back to Philadelphia. So it's going to take them some time to get back home. But this ordeal, this situation has been catastrophic and traumatic for everybody, not Jamaicans down there. Like I said, you know, we pray for the suffering and for the healing of the country of Jamaica and what the people have been through down there. I'm not going to let a few Jamaicans that talk trash and just take a crap on the whole country of people. I don't get down like that, because I know a lot of good Jamaican people. I know a lot of good Jamaicans in Jamaica. And just beyond that, I'm a man of God. They're in suffering down there. So I'm not, just because they said something bad about us, don't mean I'm going to say something back bad about them like that. So we pray for a speedy recovery for the people down there. My condolences go out to those that lost their lives down there. But during this situation, it was a very chaotic situation for everybody. I couldn't imagine being boarded into a resort where you went down there to have a good time, and now you have almost 200-mile-an-hour winds banging on the door, and you don't know if you're going to make it through there. I can't. You see, you have people voicing their opinions from the coziness of their living room. You didn't go through that experience, so you can't speak for the psyche or the mindset of the people while they're going through it at that time, right? And I would just say to the Jamaican people that's online talking trash, talk about the scamming that was being done down there at the time to people that was already turned up and people that's already afraid for their lives, and y'all coming in running scams. Talk about that part. Let's just cover the whole basis of it, right? And stop attacking each other. But I'm gonna cut this video short here. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comments.
Yeah, please subscribe to this channel. It's called Street Media TV. So before I go, I'm gonna play some a little bit more going into the visitors are interviewing. So what? It could have been worse. It could have been worse. Yes, they could have lost their lives. They could have, and really it's not even about them complaining. It's about the fact that it really wasn't about them complaining. People were they were running scams, but they're only telling half of the story. They showed that one video that went viral, and that became the narrative for everybody, and then they used that to talk bad about FBA. And this is like some of the rhetoric that was going on TikTok. People love TikTok, can be so toxic at the time. I don't even watch it. They should call it TikToxic, okay? TikToxic, okay? I'm gonna start calling it TikToxic.
And it's so crazy. It is the Black Americans. You know what? The one them we think would understand we more and be more nicer to we. And them are the f up one, and them are in trouble. Let me make this very clear for y'all. As a former resort worker, regular we want to tell you to go suck on the mother. I'm not care what watch and not understand. Yeah, man, a regular we want to tell you to go suck on the mother. Because attitude just f up. Hurricane Mellissa has been a warning long before it reached. Y'all knew this shit was coming. Y'all came and find everything to complain about and come on the internet with it. Y'all need to get the fuck home. We don't give a f who choose not to come back to Jamaica. Keep on a bumbuckler money and go on elsewhere with no attitude. Yeah, I see this big fat sour one named Simora or whatever the f she name. Go home. Let me have the picture Hungry Belly Girl. See Hungry Belly Girl. Yeah, man. No top complainer. I resort them for food and 5. She wants a 5-star service during the hurricane. That is a category 5. So you're a princess.
See this? She's not even FBA or Black American. She is from, what they say, Bermuda, Bahama, whatever. But they wanted to use this to go against the Black Americans. That's crazy. And I've been going hard against FBA for how they've been treating other people from other the diaspora. But I'm gonna say at this point we're seeing, I might have to change my view about this, because look at this. People are just ignorant and just going off and don't even have the full story about who the people are. They just want to use this to have a moment to blame us, and now we're getting to hear how they really feel. So I might have to digress on my initial rhetoric when it came down to FBA and how they've been saying, yeah, we need to delineate, because if this is how they really feel, okay, now I get to see it.
I see it.
I'm seeing that some Americans that came to Jamaica, they over here complaining about Jamaica, complaining, oh, they getting bagging foods and being ungrateful. One thing about my freaking country, y'all go there for vacation. Y'all go there to vacation and love it, because they are welcoming to y'all. They welcome y'all into their country. You don't see no other freaking Caribbean island welcoming people like Jamaica do. And y'all got the nerve to sit here and be disrespectful. And they helping y'all. They helping y'all. Well, their families and everything. And they everything is breaking down. And they still there helping y'all at hotels. They should have left y'all to starve.
Wow.
But no, they're so freaking nice and so welcoming. Y'all got my country fucked up. That's why I hate America. But God.
This message is for all the Americans that are in Jamaica right now on vacation, that are making all the whining videos complaining, oh, I missed my flight, this, that, and the third. I saw this one girl saying, oh, there is no panic. I just want to take this moment to apologize to you all. I'm sorry that you guys have never experienced something like this, but Jamaica is facing one of the worst hurricanes in history. And as a Jamaican, seeing you guys on my timeline whining about stupid stuff just irritates me so bad. Because I'm trying to see the locals. I'm trying to see what's going on in the country. And every other video is one of y'all complaining, whining about something. And if you had done your research, you would know that this time of the year in Jamaica, it's hurricane season. And that is why the tickets are so cheap. So please be a little bit considerate. Because you see, when you leave and come back to your life, people's lives will be in shambles in Jamaica. People will lose their life. People are going to lose everything they own, everything they got. So every time I see y'all whining and complaining, it really irritates me, bro. Because it shows that you guys are being insensitive. Come on.
Yeah, these people are not even in Jamaica talking this shit. They're in their country. They're in America. Talking about I hate Americans, bro. She's not even, I think that she's in her car in America, just from the comfort of America, talking mess. You know? Not even in Jamaica. That's why she's talking about them over there.
Be considerate.
Share. Okay, everybody share the space. Everybody share the joint. Let everybody know we're here, we're live, ready to chop up game as we always do. We always do. Before we start chopping it up, y'all need to people are safe down there. Something that happened in relations to the hurricane out there in Jamaica. For those who don't know, or if you're living under a rock, there was a devastating hurricane that hit Jamaica. Some people lost their lives, a lot of major property damage down there. And prayers are still up for the people of Jamaica. We don't like to see people.
Right. They mad about ICE deporting them and telling us that we need to get up out of Jamaica during a hurricane. I'm like, bro, come on now. Like, yeah. Now I'm starting to look at like Jamaicans, like, what's wrong? What's up with y'all? The people that was complaining was not even Jamaican. Y'all don't even get the full story. Y'all get up here arguing and complaining.
Suffering. We want them to get it together down there. We hope everything is all right, and we hope people are safe down there. But man, a lot of these people, some of these non-FBAs, especially Jamaicans, some of them, I ain't gonna throw all of them under the bus, but hell, enough of them, they've been really directing their vitriol towards us. Even before the hurricane hit, I saw a tweet by somebody. I should have retweeted it. It was so strange. It was like, a hurricane is coming to Jamaica. This was before the hurricane hit. And Tariq and them FBAs out here talking about delineating with a catastrophe happening. What? I saw this before the hurricane. I'm like, what the hell? Are these? I'm like, I know this fool ain't low-key blaming us for the damn hurricane. What kind of shit is that? But nevertheless, the hurricane hit, and I guess there were some tourists over there who were stuck. And some of them, a couple of them made some videos. One lady made a video. She was at a resort, and she was kind of complaining to the resort about something. And boy, they used that as an opportunity to attack us. Who is this? Ella Zalea? All right, let's get this one. Hello, Ella.
Hello.
How are you?
No.
Okay, get your ass out of here. You how you gonna ask to get on my joint and then get off? Okay. That's a new thing. A lot of people be asking the co-host. How's she gonna ask to get on it? No. Trick, you requested to get on my joint. What the hell is that about? Get your puffy face ass out of here. All right, well, I need to really get my mods together. Well, hold on. Leo, where you at, man? I need to give some of my mods all types of powers to get these folks up out of here, because we ain't gonna have the problem we had the other day. I gave Leo some more, and it was, man, it took me forever to get that lady off. It's not like you can just push a button and get rid of them or whatever money, because I don't even know how this money works. I don't even know, to be honest. Just didn't know how to get it popping. But again, we got to be very careful, because sometimes these people be, oh, you're not reading the room. And boy, they were sounding like us, but they're really from Bermuda. They were like their fellow Caribbeans, but they were just using our dialect, basically. They were Bermudan, but that don't matter. They were still using that as an opportunity to crap on foundational Black Americans. They were getting into this whole thing, excuse me, where we're all entitled. The Black Americans they're entitled. Oh, you're not reading the room. And boy, they were making videos in Jamaica and outside. You had a lot of them over here making videos. Well, why don't you just leave the island, go home, Bumbaclad. You're entitled Black Americans. They were really on that hard body. A lot of them were doing that. Telling us to go home, we shouldn't go there. We don't read the room. We're spoiled and entitled. We're the worst Black people ever. Oh, they were really using this as an opportunity to go in. They were really using this as an opportunity based on a couple of interactions that they've had with some people over there. Bombaye, did you say we're entitled? Hold on, let's get Bombaye in here. Bombaye, hop on in. You said we're entitled. Let's talk about it. Bombaye, whatever your name is. Hop on. You said we are entitled. We're entitled as F. So hop on in, Bombaye. And you can get on camera too. That'd be great. Bombaye, hop on camera.
And here's the thing: is why does everybody want to say that we're entitled, but then like talk the same mess and sound entitled?
It's Bombay.
Bombay, okay. Bombay. Okay. Bombaye, you Jamaican?
And I'm of the lineage. I was talking shit.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not no damn Jamaican.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like Jamaican saying that we're entitled.
No, you said that they was talking about that we feel entitled. I said, yes, very much. We are.
Oh, there you go. Okay, there we go. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. I thought you were Jamaican talking shit in here. I'm like, let's get into that. Thank you, Bombay. Okay. Call up, and some of them have a lot of vitriol towards us. They got a deep-seated resentment towards foundational Black Americans. You see? So this hurricane incident, that just gave them an excuse to basically unleash that resentment under the guise of criticism. Yeah, they already had this resentment. I'm telling you, even before the hurricane hit, they were low-key blaming us for some reason because of delineation and all that. See, what they do, they're projecting a lot of their own national frustrations. So who's this? Oh, who is this person? High Life?
Hey Tariq, I just wanted to talk to you. Hi, Tariq.
How'd you get in here? I didn't even invite your ass in here. How'd you get in here?
No, I requested. You invited me. I requested.
I did? I don't remember hitting the button. What kind of magic are you doing? Shit is that?
Can I just ask you a question before I go?
I go, but where you from? Where you from, by the way?
I'm from London.
London. But you're Caribbean, right?
No, I'm not Caribbean. No, I'm not Jamaican. No.
Okay, you're Nigerian then, right?
I'm West Africa. I'm not Nigerian. I'm Ghanaian.
Ghanaian. Okay, there you go. So what's on your mind, Highlight?
I just want to ask you a question. Like, do you know the history that you had with white Americans? Correct me if I'm wrong. Why did you guys?
Wait. The history of what? Wait. I didn't understand you. The history of white Americans? What?
No, the history that you've had with white Americans. Why would you integrate with them? Correct me if I'm wrong. I just wanted to know because.
What?
Like, no, you don't understand the question.
Why would we integrate with white Americans and you're Ghanaian in London?
No, you're not understanding something. I'm just.
What am I not understanding? A Ghanaian in London is asking me why we integrate with white people? Huh?
I'm just asking you a question. I'm just asking.
I'm asking the same thing. Why'd you go to London?
I'm not in London. I left. I went back.
No. I don't even think you're in Ghana, sir. I think you're up in Brixton right now.
Okay, look, Dora,
Why would you ask me that? Why would you ask me that? And you're from London. You were born and raised in London, right?
All right, sorry. Let me ask you another question. Do you know who?
No. Hold on. What kind of?
You know what? That's crazy. See, and then he tries to like just skip past the question to like, that's not. What are we?
What kind
doing?
of projection is that, though? That's a projection, sir.
I'm not projecting. I'm just asking. You know who Paul Miller is?
You up in London, and you know the history of London. London decimated your homeland. The British Crown, they were the main ones decimating your homeland, sir.
I'm just asking you a question. Do you know who Paul Miller is? I'm just saying.
Paul Miller?
Yeah, Paul Miller.
Who the hell is that?
You know who Paul Miller is? You know who Paul? Okay, I just thought you know who he was.
Who the hell is that?
No, it's this wannabe white supremacist guy. He goes around calling black people niggers and all that type of stuff. He's in America. He says that black people are this and that. Just nonsense. All of that. He's not even white. He's a gypsy.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, I know that. I understand that. I know, but
Yeah,
I'm not
so
in.
supremacists, but we weren't trying to have them tell us where we could go in our own damn country.
That's fine. I understand that.
You understand that? So yeah,
I
we
understand
stopped that. We weren't going to let them limit our movements. So that's why we can go wherever we want to go. And some of y'all can't, unfortunately.
Okay, I just like, would you prefer that blacks in America had their own nation state where you had your own land, your own country, for you to build up a military to kill these white supremacists?
No, you talking dumb, and you're deliberately talking dumb on here.
Oh,
you don't say no shit like that on no damn TikTok, you idiot. You giggling musty tether. You don't say no shit like that on TikTok, you musty giggling tether. What you doing? Yeah, you trying to say something deliberately slick. I didn't invite him up here. How he got up here is beyond me. At all. Man, this dude is punking them out. Y'all the majority over there. These people are punking you out. Scared of that dude. Man, we would have mopped the floor with that damn dude. They pull some shit like that. Listen, we got a different spiritual energy, ladies and gentlemen. It's foundational Black Americans. We have a different spiritual energy, ladies and gentlemen. That's why the cowardly tether who called up, trying to project his own insecurities onto us, we ain't submissive like that. Foundational Black Americans, we come from a lineage of rebellion, not no submission.
Let me see if he talks more about the Jamaicans, because I don't know this. Sometimes this whole thing turns into something else, and I'm more focused on the Jamaican situation. Let's see if he actually goes back into that. Okay, the Queen of England. All right, let's go back into what? All right, here we go.
Yeah, you got some Alabama folks. Y'all damn sure had a garden. We had strawberries too. Yep. Absolutely. But the thing is, man,
also,
we ain't dependent on that. So
anyone wants to come up and
when
talk.
the white supremacists show up being disrespectful, we ain't holding our tongue because we don't want to offend nobody. No, you're gonna get the business. You're gonna get the business. And that's just what it is. So going back to what I was talking about as far as what's going on in Jamaica, going in on what I'm talking about, what's happening in Jamaica and why these people are denigrating foundational Black Americans. They're projecting a lot of stuff onto us. They're disguising their anti-FBA hate as a hospitality critique. You understand? They're talking about, oh, you rude Americans, oh, you rude Black Americans. And then also a lot of it is social media clout. They understand if they start dissing us, they can get clicks and views. Look, anti-foundational Black American commentary, that's like a clout-chasing niche on social media right now. Just bashing foundational Black Americans under trending topics. It gets engagements. It gets likes and shares. So a lot of these tethers are just basically seizing the opportunity. That's why they always have to mention us. They always have to make these trollish videos and trollish live streams mentioning us for whatever reason, because that's the only way they can get some traction. You see? But real talk, even before this hurricane, have y'all been to the Caribbean? How many, if you've been to the Caribbean, raise your hand, especially Jamaica. let's keep it real. There has always been a contempt that some of those people at the resorts have for foundational Black Americans. Not all of them. Some are cool. And again, I got a lot of folks who work outside the resorts of Jamaica who are actually cool, and I'm cool with when I go down there. But family, down in Jamaica, places like that, in the Virgin Islands, I had a horrible experience at the Virgin Islands. I'd never go back. We went to the Virgin Islands, and I talked about this before. I talked about how rude and funky the people were. They had a resentful attitude towards me and the family for some reason. I'm like, and I kind of put two and two together and kind of saw what the game was. It's just a real funky disposition. And I've seen a couple of attitudes like that at some of these resorts in Jamaica. A lot of them have resentment towards us because foundational Black Americans, we represent a type of freedom that a lot of Jamaicans, they feel like they've been denied, and other Caribbeans. When we visit Jamaica on our own terms, vacationing, relaxing, enjoying the scenery, and some of these people who are living there, they work these grueling hours, low-wage service jobs in foreign-owned resorts. So that contrast, that creates a resentment dynamic. You see, and they look at it as like how these niggas enjoying our homeland and we can't. So that there's a lot of passive hostility. Yeah. Us enjoying a lifestyle that they can't really enjoy themselves. They look at it like that to a certain degree. Yeah. Because a lot of them, to be honest, the narrative is that we're supposed to be better than those foundational Black Americans. See, the white tea supremacists would tell them that old horse crap. The colonizers would tell them, you're the good Blacks compared to those lazy, spoiled, foundational Black Americans. Oh, you ain't like them. You're right, I'm not like those niggas. And then when you see foundational Black Americans thriving, confident, affluent, culturally dominant, that challenges that colonial myth that they've internalized. So that creates a little contempt. Yeah. And that tourist culture, that forces a lot of locals into subservient roles. See, that Jamaican tourism industry is built around serving foreign, often white tea guests. So when we show up with money and we have high expectations, some of them locals, they subconsciously start resisting being in a subservient role to somebody who looks like them. Because they don't act funky to the white tea people. I'll tell you that. They don't act funky towards them. Because, dude, I've been in a resort and I've asked for towels, and I've had to ask, like, can I get some extra towels, please? And they would have an attitude about it. I've had this a couple of times in Jamaica. Like, yes, can I get some more towels, please? And it became a thing. I have to keep asking, have to keep calling down, little shit like that, little passive aggressive shit like that. You know?
And is that really
the
like
thought of them having to serve?
Listen, if you paid for a service in a hotel, even in America, people are not going to be doing that over here if you get a room. So why over there? Why is there that content? There is that contentious thing going on. So we cannot pretend that this does not exist. You know what I'm saying? That people are not over there tripping, not wanting to service Black Americans because they have like that whole down look on us. Well, El Caton and all that stuff like that. Let's go.
Black American. And that puts a bug in their ass. You know? Come on now, some of y'all experienced it too. You know? And the thing is, the fact that we can travel freely, we go in and out, and a lot of them, they can't leave, which they want to leave. A lot of them can't leave. We can just hop on flights going back and forth, stay at a resort, rent a jet ski, leave when we please. And a lot of them, they can't afford to even leave their parish, let alone the island.
So, I mean, there is that content. And I would hate to say that, that whole thing does exist. We cannot pretend it doesn't, I think we need to work on that. And shouts out to the Jamaicans that do not like hold that contention in their heart, that are not using this as an opportunity to like shit on Black Americans. That's crazy, So another video I saw that was about this that was interesting. I'm gonna play that one. Let's go. So let's get into it.
There was Hurricane Mellissa. And of course, Jamaica is a hotspot for tourism all across the world. And many people, including residents, were caught in this particular hurricane. As I've stated before, in Jamaica, these particular vacations or all-inclusive packages are not cheap. I mean, you're paying for your flight. These resorts cost a lot of money. And then you had this particular lady who went viral complaining about the quality of food.
So why can't we leave when y'all feeding us pastries for breakfast and we still had to pay full price to stay here? Like, come on.
May I ask where you're going now?
We're going to get something to eat.
Everything closed across. Everything closed. Gas station, shopping mall, everything closed.
So what are y'all doing for gas? You all knew this storm was coming, right? So you're going to give us bag lunches, bag breakfast, some pastries? That's so disrespectful.
Now, this lady that is complaining, her channel or her TikTok account is called Ebony Takes One. She says, "I ready to go home. Surviving Hurricane Mellissa was not in my itinerary. Y'all please keep us in your prayers." And then Jamaicans started complaining about Black Americans.
When I fix the airport so the people can go on them yard, because frankly, I'm tired of them. And the funny thing is, it's not the people that are complaining, it's the ones that look like us that are complaining, and I do the most.
And let me just say this. What did she say? "I ready to go home." So she even wrote it in a Caribbean accent. "I ready to go home. It's not going right." You know what I'm saying? She didn't speak in no Black vernacular when she posted it on her channel. People should have known, okay, what's up with this? "I ready to go home."
I do the most. So guess what? When I fix the airports, I'm going on yard. And as for ungrateful people, don't come back.
Now, Jamaicans rightfully so saw a situation in which, the hurricane basically has destroyed the country, and it's an act of God. It's not like they wanted this to happen. And I understand. Again, if I'm a tourist, then, like I said, I'm going to understand. As a man, right? I'm just, glad that everything will be okay. I can get back home. And again, I understand that I've lost my money, but, I pay the price for trying to come there during hurricane season. That's also my due diligence, okay? But at the same time, the resort, if it is hurricane season and you're still selling these packages and this happens and you're charging a lot of money for these things, then ain't nobody gonna care, all right, that all of this is going on. Now, Amanda Seals eventually got into the conversation.
I know I didn't just see videos of folks in Jamaica, Americans, Black Americans in Jamaica, post Hurricane Mellissa, complaining about the food they were provided by the hotel post Hurricane Mellissa, one of the most severe hurricanes.
No, you didn't just see a Black American. It was a Bahamian.
No, you know what? I couldn't have seen that.
Why didn't they at least do due diligence to make sure this was a Black American? What is wrong with people? Why didn't they actually make sure that this was a Black American before they began to and even her, you're a celebrity, man. "No, I just didn't see some Black Americans in Jamaica." In her Grenadian patois. No, you didn't see Black Americans in Jamaica do a goddamn thing. It was not a Black American doing nothing.
Because that would be utterly insane, disgraceful, and ungrateful. As somebody who has actually been in the Caribbean at a hotel during a hurricane, I was in Hurricane Barrow while at Mount Cinnamon Hotel in Grenada last year.
Well, honey, get with your fellow Caribbeans. See, they just want, because of the whole FBA movement, because this whole delineation movement, that they want to they want to lash out because they have. That's why I say that this movement can be kind of toxic, is because it's creating this kind of a discord. I believe that when you're putting negative out there, you're getting negative back. There's a reason why people are wanting to lash out. It's not because of just so I'm on both sides. You know, I see where both sides can be wrong. You know,
I need to remind some of you that these people are literally with your instead of with their families during severe weather event that could affect and impact their lives and their livelihood. And you're talking about what? They're literally there putting together meals with whatever they have.
So does this show that also Caribbean people come to America and start to feel entitled? Is this really showing that oh, okay, it's not just FBAs that are entitled, that Caribbean people come to America, become entitled, and go back to the Caribbean and begin to feel entitled as well. So that's what it's showing me.
Have to get to you. I remember that folks at Mount Cinnamon was coming through while the wind was moving and crazy and everything, making sure that we had something to eat. Oh, you're damn rude. I had heard that.
She even kissed her teeth and did the whole Nigerian thing. Whenever like when they suck their teeth, when they make that noise, she did that. I can't do it, you know, but yeah.
This was happening, and I just assumed it was white folks. I just was like, yeah, that tracks. And this is why we continue to have dissension amongst the diaspora. Because so often, folks go other places and act a mess.
Like your own folks, because those were not Black Americans, those were Caribbean Americans. So not only do we get our own set of like, you know, feeling entitled, your people come over to America, get entitled, go back to the Caribbean and feel entitled. So there you go.
And there's a version of this that is done by African folks. There's a version of this that is done by Caribbean folks. And there's a version of this that is done by American folks. And everybody needs to stop showing up in other places.
So Amanda Seales, you know, like I said, she's from a Caribbean background. I think half Black American, half Caribbean. So she's going in on, you know, she's trying to be a little bit balanced, but I always see Amanda Seales with her commentary. It is quite negative towards Black Americans. And we make a lot of mistakes, right? My commentary can be considered negative, especially on my main channel. But I noticed that here she is coming after our community. But then check this out.
So there were some people in Jamaica, they were complaining, a couple of people at the resort, and they used that as an opportunity to start attacking foundational Black Americans, calling us all types of names. Now, come to find out, the women who were complaining at the resort, they were sounding like us, but they're really from Bermuda. They were like their fellow Caribbeans, but they were just using our dialect, basically. They were Bermudan, but that don't matter. They were still using that as an opportunity to crap on foundational Black Americans. They were getting into this whole thing, excuse me, where we're all entitled. Oh, the Black Americans they're entitled. Oh, you're not reading the room. And boy, they were making videos in Jamaica and outside. You had a lot of them over here making videos. Well, why don't you just leave the island, go home.
Now, Tariq Nasheed does a response, right? And he says the lady that is being accused of this is not even from the Black American community, okay? She is from Bermuda, all right? And this is why I want to preface this. And again, I'm a person in the Pan-African community. I live in Africa, but I have never been more for delineation more than I am now. I love Africans. I love people from the Caribbean. Like, I will give my shirt off at the back. If you're a good person, I'll work with you. I don't like to get into tribalism for the most part. It's something I don't do. But if you're going to blame the Black American community or the formerly African American community, whatever you want to call ourselves or identify, freedmen, there's Siouxland, I don't know, right? Us. Let it be something that we did do. And I'm pretty sure it's a lot of stuff that we can do. But now what you have is somebody coming in that grows up in Black America or grows up in New York City, is in the culture, sounds just like somebody, and then they go to the Caribbean and then they start some trouble, and then now people in our community, we get blamed for it. And it's not fair, okay? Don't get me wrong. I can definitely see somebody from our community going out there doing this. But then at the same time, a lot of people from our community would not have acted like this. There's even clips of people from Britain complaining.
This is what they gave us in our snack ration meal to go boxes. It has... You know, what is this? What is this? What is that? Okay.
Okay, so are they entitled? Are they English black English entitled too? Why are we only hearing about the Black Americans? Why are we the only entitled ones? You know, and the English will say the same thing about us, you know, and they have their own level of entitlement. So bottom line is entitlement goes across the board, you know, within the whole diaspora, you know. And you know, and I, you know, Pan-Africanism and all this other stuff. But when it comes to stuff like this, I gotta call it how I see it. You know, one thing I will not do is I'm not a part of any group, you know, but I do tout Pan-Africanism because I really feel like that we do need to come together. But as long as people are having like this kind of rhetoric, I'm getting to see what people are talking about. You know.
Thank you.
Now, I messed this up on my first video, but I'm trying to get it right this time. This lady has at least some kind of a British accent or a Scottish accent or something, all right? This is what is going on. And so what has happened is Black Americans are being blamed for something that we are not responsible for if this is true. And this is what keeps these kind of ideas coming. Like somebody from Bermuda grew up in Black America or grew up close to Black America could cosplay. Like, you know, I'm in Uganda right now, right? There is no way I can cosplay a Ugandan accent. If I do something, I did it, right? And you'll know that the American guy there from California who has a very strong West Coast accent, if you will. I mean, if you listen to how I deliver my words, especially if I get angry, you'll hear it. But a Ugandan can be in America for 10 to 15 years, 20 years, okay? Go and do something. Then you have people who don't.
Hey, welcome to the panel, Cedric. How you doing? Hello? I think you're on mute. You have to unmute yourself. Hey, how's it going, Cedric? Hello? Are you talking? I can't hear you. If you're talking, you're saying anything, I can't hear you. I'm gonna just play the video.
Don't understand who is who, right? It's quite natural. A Jamaican person comes out and says that person's from America. You know, even a British accent. A Jamaican person has never left the country don't know what may not always know what a British accent is, may not always know what an American accent is. So you lump them into different group when really it's your own Caribbeans is doing this. And this is why delineation is so strong, because one of the things that Caribbeans do, and they do it very well, is they gatekeep their success. All right, they gatekeep their success, meaning that if they do something and their community benefits from it, only they're going to be able to get it. You'll see it with, you know, Igbos. You'll see it with certain people in certain tribes and things like that. They're not going to let you take credit for none of their successes. It's not going to happen, okay? But now in their failures, oh, it's easy to put that on somebody else. And see, that's where we got to draw the line. No, y'all need to come over here and get y'all's work. This is what y'all doing. Come get y'all's work. No, this is you, okay? And then you don't get to go out in the communities like some of y'all in Florida that are other people, you know, some of the brothers in the other communities. I love y'all, won't necessarily name y'all names, but y'all go out there and y'all dust it up. You know who you are. You go out there and you have your little beefs, especially in Florida. That's some of you Caribbean brothers. And then we got to take the blame for the stuff that y'all doing. But when y'all communities start doing very well and have a success, it's such and such pride and things. This is why delineation is important, so that you can also celebrate your wins and then take your losses too. Okay? Because this flat blackness thing, it really isn't going to work out this way. And
what do you think about delineation? Do you people in the audience, do you think that delineation is important? The fine line drawn between each group. Okay, you have African Americans, you have Caribbean, you have this, you have that, and drawing that fine line. Do you think that is very important in our community? Is that the most important thing that we need to be doing? Cedric, I see that you're here. Do you want to say something, or are you just here to listen, or what? Cedric, can you hear me? Can you hear what I'm saying? Okay. Maybe he just wants to be on the panel. I don't know. I mean, are you there? Hello? Okay, let me just continue to play the video.
This is why people are upset. So this is why you need to know who is responsible for what. In Africa, it's pretty much, figured out. You got the, Ugandan can't go to Nigeria and mess up and don't nobody know it's a Ugandan. Ugandan can't go to Kenya and not take that L. You're gonna take that L. And a lot of these people that's coming into the American diaspora, that's fitting in, that's why delineation is important. So when you have an L, your community can answer for your L. We don't need to answer, because you can't just benefit off what the Black American community got to offer, and then we got to take your L's too, and you ain't getting them back. No, I'm sorry. That's something that I believe is just needs to stop. You get to come in, well, now you don't have DI on that other stuff anymore. Benefit from the community, then you can give us your L's. Take your own L's. And this is one of y'all's L's. Those of them from Bermuda love you, love like a play cousin, but if this is true, this is one of y'all's L's. Then y'all done got us into the mix with y'all's L's. And then, but we can't never blame nothing on y'all, because y'all gatekeep y'all stuff. Y'all need to if we're really going to be honest, open up y'all's flood bank so we can come out there and dust y'all off. Let it be honest. We can go. It could be the same thing. If y'all are going to go, and we're dusty too, trust me, we can really dust it up together. It could be a Pan-Africanism full of dusty. We can all dust it up. Trust me. It could be fun. We could all benefit from the dust. It's no problem. We can dust all of that off. Then we can benefit from everybody's other stuff in this and that. But y'all don't want to do that. So guys, it's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again.
I mean, this has really been like a hot topic across the internet. I mean, it's crazy. So, and now let's hear what Anton Daniels had to say. And I'm sure he's going to use this against Black people. I mean, he's the biggest grifter of them all. I'm sure that he's probably not going to have the true information. He's just going to watch this thing and just say, see, this was wrong with Black America. Let's see if he does that. Let me see if I'm right. Let's go.
We leave when y'all feeding us pastries for breakfast and we still had to pay full price to stay here? Like, come on.
May I ask where you're going now?
We going to get something to eat.
Everything closed across the street.
And by the way, most hotels serve pastries. They don't serve they're not going to serve you a full breakfast. Even, I mean, I don't know. Like I know hotels most of the time, like you'd be glad to get like some fruit and vegetables during the morning, time at a hotel. So I don't know what this was really about. Like, it's crazy that they were tripping. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of embarrassing for any country, whoever they were from. If they're from Bahamas or wherever they're from, that's even embarrassing right there. So
gas station, shopping mall, everything.
So what are y'all doing for gas? You all knew this storm was coming, right? So you gonna give us bag lunches, bag breakfast?
You all knew this storm was coming, so you're gonna give us bag lunches, bag breakfast? Yeah. Kind of what happens during the storm. Probably can't cook, can't do the most thing. So they're being ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. They are being very ridiculous. Like, come on now. You knew this storm was coming. So what? I don't. To me, it's like that is embarrassing. So for whatever country they're from, they should be embarrassed about how that went down. That's not cool. Like, to go up there complaining about this and you're in a hurricane.
Some pastries? That's so
I'm gonna fix the airport so the people can go on them yard, because frankly I'm tired of them. And the funny thing is, it's not the people that are complaining, it's the ones that look like us that are complaining, and I do the most. So guess what? When I fix the airports and I go on a yard, and as for ungrateful people, don't come back. We don't need no money, we don't need nothing from you. Please me, I beg you, don't come back. It's when things are up and running again, don't come back. And if you do come back, I hope you visit, don't come back. Because we don't treat you well, don't come back. And us Jamaicans too, we're too a little bit enough and forgiving. I'm telling you this. It's when time when you see them in them country and the I deal with them certain type of way, leave them. Because like me say, if you check the persons that are complaining and the person where they do the most, it's not them people that do the
Hey,
most.
so
It's the ones them will look like we. See, it's when yesterday.
could it be that they probably spent a lot at that resort? I don't know. If you're at a resort, you're probably spending thousands of dollars to be there. You're probably expecting to be prepared. I don't know. Cedric, are you there? If you don't say anything, I'm going to have to drop you down. Why would you come up and not say anything? It's weird. I'm gonna remove you. It's weird. Why would someone come up and not say nothing? What is the point of it? Come up when if you're able to talk. I don't understand. I don't understand what that was about. Anyways, let's hear what Anton is gonna say, and I'm sure he's gonna agree. Let's go.
Them country, them deal with them any witchy water way. Man on a business.
All right, so I know that the accent can get pretty crazy. I actually had to listen to it multiple different times to catch the majority of what they were saying, but let me just give you the synopsis, right? So basically, you have this hurricane that just recently happened in Jamaica, and so different posts on social media is starting to surface of people like the one person, and then there was like another person that was Americans that were visiting Jamaica that was feeling some type of way about the fact that they were still being charged full price, while at the same time they weren't getting the services, rightfully so, because a hurricane had just tore through that mug. So Jamaica was just absolutely ravaged. Obviously, we know that it is a tourist destination, so I don't really take what this person says that much, because they saying, well, listen, you're disrespectful, we don't like it. How can you complain when the whole country is ravaged? But then at the same time, y'all need all the tourists that y'all can get, especially now, considering that y'all don't really have any industries that will hold the whole place up. You know what I'm saying? So essentially what you see happening is people from Jamaica, not all of them, obviously, but a lot of them, to have the conversation on the internet, and it's starting to go viral, are saying that Black Americans should not be welcomed over to the country because they are disrespectful and they look like them, even though they are not Jamaicans. They look like them, but they are unappreciative and they're not compassionate, because if the whole place is ravaged, then why aren't you helping, or why are you sitting there demanding more or greater services, or why are you still demanding the same services that you would have got had the hurricane not been there? And I can see it on both sides, right? Obviously, you don't want to be in a space if you are a tourist destination where you say don't come back, because like I said, you need all of the American dollars and any other dollars from any other place that you can get. And then at the same time, you know, because you got to look at it from the tourist perspective also. Why would you expect to do something or get some kind of service? And number one, why are you traveling over there during hurricane season? That's number one. But number two, you can't expect it, but then at the same time, they still paid their money, you know? Like, it's not like they're going to get their money back. I'm assuming that they're not going to get their money back, but then you can handle it with a level of decorum. So everybody just have to be level-headed. But that's basically how things are playing out.
What? I'm surprised. Anton Daniels. Wow, I'm glad to see people actually coming at this with logic. People spend their money, they're not going to get their money back. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to give them their money back, but then they're going to okay, well, you know that this is your hurricane season. Why would you invite and allow people to come over during that season, knowing hurricanes get hit, and not at least have things like that other situation where they had things ready for the people that was there, even though they still got charged $2,000 to even. Then they say, oh, well, it's $2,000 to even keep a room here to keep even going. They didn't drop the price once the hurricane hit. They said just to get a week more, it's going to be $2,000 more. So, come on now. We have to see this from another perspective, a financial perspective. People spend a lot of money to be on these vacations, and when stuff don't go right, okay, you can't be like, oh, well, we wasn't prepared, when you know it's your hurricane season every year.
So far, let me play some more.
Not enough. Leave them alone. I let me say, no, go on in the yard and don't come back. Do not come back.
to all the Americans down there, black Americans in the hotel and the resorts who talking shit about the workers and about Jamaica. As soon as the airport opens, y'all go home. Go home. Go home. Jamaicans didn't call y'all down there. Y'all know a storm was coming. A hurricane was coming. A whole of 10 days. Y'all knew this. Y'all have a chance to go home. You chose to stay. Then y'all talking shit, talking about food, and talking about Jamaicans treat us this way. And look what we eating for breakfast. Oh, no, America for breakfast. Oh, no, Jamaicans, it call on down there. We don't see the people them in there are serve, you know. People them have them family could have go home to and them still in there serve, you know, and sit down and talk fuck. Go on a bumbo clot, yeah. No put back on a blood clot down there. No go back down there, because we never call on the down there. Dirty thinking Americans. Now put on a bumbo clot, go chuck to a big pussy mama and come back with blood clot.
What the heck are she
pussy
saying?
like, you know. Don't come back.
Another thing, Black people, when y'all travel into these countries like the Caribbean and stuff like that, can y'all please leave your entitlement at home? Please, leave it at home. Let me tell you, in Jamaica, the hotel workers and service workers, they're the front line of tourism. They are literally there to make sure you have a great time when you reach the country. There are people that you treat nicely. There are people that you tip well. And I see it too many times when Americans come to Jamaica and y'all flexing on the workers. It's not a good look. That's not what you do. And I see it a lot.
Wait, people flex on the workers? I don't know. Like, I've been to Jamaica one time, but that was well over 20 years ago. I would say probably about 20 years ago. People flip on the workers. They flex on the workers. I didn't know that people flex on the workers.
And y'all have this superiority complex, how y'all be treating them workers. Y'all do it in the Caribbean. I see y'all doing it in Jamaica, and y'all be doing it in West Africa. Y'all be doing it in Ghana too. Y'all be flexing. No. That is not the way to do it.
I think that that's just a Black American thing. I don't think that that has anything to do with whether or not they doing it on them. They do it on here. They do it to the people in the United States of America. And then they complain about no food stamps. So
that's not what you do when you travel. Humble your blood clot self. Humble yourself. You tip them well. You treat them nicely. You understand? Hey, let me tell you, y'all got the right. I don't know if y'all got the right or y'all got the right nationality of people. Because we will cuss y'all 40 days and 40 nights. We're not done. We're not gonna be done. I know the people down at yard can't do nothing right now, but
they need to be done.
We will cuss Uno.
No, they need to be done because it wasn't even Black Americans that did that. That's what's crazy. People, so as much as they not done, they wrong. Y'all are done because you're wrong. It wasn't even Black Americans. So yeah, get that through your skull.
Y'all gotta tighten up. Tighten up. It's not a good look.
How do they switch that?
When you travel, be respectful. I can't even believe I have to say these things. Be respectful to the locals. Jamaicans love, we are very hospitable people. We are very nice people. We're very friendly people. We are people who give the shirt off our back. We will help you out. But don't go down there and treat none of them. Don't treat the people them bad. Because what I've seen on this TikTok, left, right, and center, y'all be treating the workers bad. Men are like it. I despise the attitude. I despise. You down there on a Category 5 hurricane. People people have nothing. Uno I'll go on because they can't get proper breakfast. When the airport's open, y'all, because they need to go now. Today.
But the airports were charging more money to get back home, $300 more. So everybody's saying y'all need to go back to the airport and go back home, honey. Well, if you didn't have a flight at that time and it was weeks out or a week out, you have to either wait or whatever, pay that extra money, that extra coin. People were getting scammed and everything. Let's not pretend like everything was hunky-dory going this.
The reason why Black Americans is going off is because Jamaicans came on TikTok coming at the whole population of Black Americans for one Black American woman actions.
Well, she wasn't even Black American.
And if the roles were reversed, Jamaicans wouldn't want Black Americans being mad at the whole population of Jamaicans because of one Jamaican's actions. It gives unfair. It gives like you guys found a loophole to try and attack us for no reason. And it's kind of shocking. It's kind of mind-boggling because we thought as Black Americans that, you know, us and Jamaicans were like cool. Like we thought we was like this. I mean, we love you guys. So it just saddens us. It disappoints us that you guys are coming at us like this for no reason. Period. And what's even crazier, you come on TikTok and you're seeing all these Jamaicans talking as if that you guys are better than us. I think you guys need to open up a history book. I think you guys need to go on Google and actually realize and research that you're no different from us.
Yeah, I don't know about all of that. I'm an American. I don't have no kin or any tie to any place outside of the United States of America. This is one of those situations where cooler heads could prevail. I think that what you see happening is what people had already believed in the first place. And so this is nothing new. And people are getting outside of themselves because it's a disaster situation. And then at the same time, you know, now everybody is always feeling some type of way and they feel as though both sides feel as though they are entitled. But again, you're talking about one singular person that had a complaint, and that does not necessarily on either side reflect the entirety. Because I don't think that Jamaicans, just because there's some people that's complaining on the internet, I don't think that the majority of Jamaicans would want for Black Americans to stop spending their money over in Jamaica, because again, it's a tourist destination. You would want as many people as possible because that is the thing that feeds your people. Anyways, let me know what you guys think inside of the comments. Make sure you tap into the Patreon link is in the description. Teach Henley 40%.
So listen, you know, I'm gonna just say this. At the end of the day, you know, I think that we need to be united. You know, you have ICE cracking down on Black people. Doesn't matter. They don't say, are you Jamaican first? You know what I'm saying? Are you illegal or whatever? It's pretty much a crackdown. So the thing is that we want to complain about ICE and how people are being treated in America and talk about that. But then this situation happens. It's not even an African American that this happened with or FBA. And they're just so quick to just jump down our throats. We need to be, so this actually makes the whole delineation argument more relevant. And I'm like, bro, you guys are feeding into this, you know? And TikTok, like I said, TikToxic needs to we need to really think about the content that gets on TikTok. People just get on there and just get the ranting and raging on TikTok. People need to cut that bullshit out. At least get the full story before you jump on your thing and start talking shit, okay? It wasn't even an FBA that had that video. So there needs to be a massive apology given for the people that jumped on thinking that these people were Black Americans and they were really Caribbean. Now, Amanda Seale, she told the line. She said everybody, you know, so she didn't completely just go in on Black Americans, but it seemed like to me that she really wanted to, you know. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this up to this point. I think the young man or the older man, you know, I think that it's crazy. I think we need, like, if you guys did not get to see the earlier part of the video where I discussed that our freedom of speech is about to be impacted, because as you can see, person put something on Facebook, has nothing to do with something, he's in jail for, you know, 3 months, you know, and then it's not even a situation where they're going to let him out in December. It's his trial is in December, and that could get pushed back. You already know how those things go, you know, so he could be, Lord knows how long he could be in. And I was already telling everybody that the things that normally we'd be let on our own recognizance is gone now because of like these new rulings and stuff. So be very careful when breaking the law, even in the slightest, because you could be sitting up in jail for a very extended period of time. So be very careful about that, guys. Much love and much respect. Thank you for everybody who stayed here and watched. Peace.
mission, I'm mission. Trying to get it right. Transition, changing the way that I see life. Transition mind. I'm on a mission, trying to get it right. I'm transitioning my life. Making a transition. Ooh, making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Ooh, 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 ooh. Making a transition. Ooh, ooh. Transition, I'm on a mission, I'm trying to get it right. Changing the way that I see life. Transition in my life. On a mission.